Jaya Bhakti Jaya Hake Para Jaya Jaya Hare Krishna. I will speak today on an essential verse of the Bhagavad Gita. It is an essential verse because it represents the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. And, so I will read from the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, text 14. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So those who know the verse by heart can repeat it, and those who don't know and who have the book or on the phone, please repeat the Sanskrit. Devayesa Gunamai Mama Maya Durachaya Mami Vaye Papachante Mayam Etam Tarantite Devayesa Gunamai Mama Maya Durachaya Mami Vaye Papatyante Maya Me Tantarantite Deva Yesha Gunamai Mama Maya Durachaya Mami Vaye Papatyante Maya Me Tantarantite. Word for word translation. Please repeat. Devi, transcendental. He, certainly. Esha, is. Gunamayi, consisting of the three modes of material nature. Mama, my, Maya, energy. Durachaya, very difficult to overcome. Man, unto me. Eva, certainly. Ye, those who. Papatyante, surrender. Mayametam, this illusory energy. Taranti, overcome. Te, they. Translation and purport by Abhijala Vrinda Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Says, Gunamai is the material energy, all what we see around us, including our bodies and so on. There's a material energy. And Krishna says that Devi is divine because it comes from Krishna. And he's under control of Krishna. And it's, Krishna says, this energy is Mama, it's mine. My energy, Krishna says. And Krishna says, but it's my energy, but it's Durachaya. For us, very difficult to that. But Mamiva, but certainly, ye papatyante, one who surrenders unto me, papatyante. Then Krishna says, Mayam eta tarantite. You can easily overcome it. So that's the message of Bhagavat Gita, that we are under the illusory energy, Maya, and to overcome it, we must surrender to Krishna. We will first hear the commentary of Isi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has innumerable energies, and all these energies are divine. Although the living entities are part of his energies and therefore divine, due to contact with material nature, their original superior power is overcovered. So we are superior energy, the soul is superior energy. Being thus covered by material energy, so we are superior energy, spiritual energy, but we are covered by the material energy, one cannot possibly overcome its influence. On your own strength you cannot overcome it, you are controlled by it. As previously stated, both the material and spiritual natures, being emanations from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are eternal. The living entity belongs to the eternal superior nature of the Lord. But due to contamination by the inferior nature, matter, their illusion is also eternal. So we are controlled by the inferior nature, but we are superior nature, spiritual. The conditioned soul is therefore called Nitya Baddha, or eternally conditioned. So Nitya Baddha does not mean that we remain eternally Nitya Baddha. What does it mean? Srila Prabhupada explains, no one can trace out the history of becoming conditioned at a certain date in material history. Too long ago, we went through so millions of births, we cannot trace it back. Consequently, its release from the clutches of material nature is very difficult, because it has to become our second nature to identify with the body. Even though that material nature is an inferior energy, because material energy is ultimately conducted by the Supreme Will, which the living entity cannot overcome. It's controlled by Krishna. That your heartbeat is controlled, your digestion is controlled. What you think of is controlled, because you don't control what you remember. Krishna controls. Krishna gives you knowledge. We are controlled. Okay. Inferior material nature is defined herein as divine nature, but due to its divine connection and movement by the divine will. Being conducted by the divine will, material nature, although inferior, acts so wonderfully in the construction and destruction of the cosmic manifestation. The Vedas confirm this as follows. Mayam tu pragatim vityam mayam tu maheshvaram. Although Maya illusion is false or temporary, so it's not that it's not reality, but it's temporary. And to take the temporary as permanent is illusion, and that's what we do. Therefore we are in illusion. The background of Maya is supreme magician, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which mites for the Supreme Controller. So in the background is always Krishna controlling this material nature. Another meaning of guna is to be understood that the conditioned soul is highly tied by the ropes of illusion. A man bound by the hand and feet cannot free himself. He must be helped by a person who is unbound. Because the bound cannot help the bound, the rescuer must be liberated. Therefore, only Krishna or his bona fide representative, the spiritual master, can release the conditioned soul. Without such superior help, one cannot be freed from the bondage of material nature. Devotional service of Krishna consciousness can help one gain such release. Krishna, being the Lord of the illusory energy, can order the insurmountable energy to release the conditioned soul. He orders this release out of his causeless mercy on the surrendered soul, and out of his paternal affection for the living being, who is originally a beloved son of the Lord. Therefore, surrendering to the lotus feet of the Lord is the only means to get free from the clutches of the stringent material nature. The words Mamiva are also significant. Ma means unto Krishna, Vishnu only, and not to Brahma or Shiva. Although Brahma and Shiva are greatly elevated and are almost on the level of Vishnu, it is not possible for such incarnations of Rajaguna, passion, and Tamaguna, ignorance, to release the conditioned soul from the clutches of Maya. Because all these more elevated living beings in this universe are also controlled by Maya, to a certain extent. In other words, both Brahma and Shiva are under the same influence of Maya. Only Vishnu is the master of Maya. Therefore, he alone can give release to the conditioned souls. So, Vishnu is an expansion of Krishna. The Vedas, Svetasvatara Upanishad 3.8, confirm this in the phrase Tamaiva Viditva, or freedom, is possible only by understanding Krishna. Even Lord Shiva affirms that liberation can be achieved only by the mercy of Krishna. Lord Shiva says, Mukti Pradata Sarvasam Vishnureva Samsaya. There is no doubt that Vishnu is the deliverer of liberation for everyone. So only Krishna can liberate us. The verse again, Deva yesa guna maya mama maya dvachya mami bhagye papachante maya metam tarankite. This divine energy of mind consisting of the three modes of nature are very difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Om Jnana Timandasya Jananjana Vishnaka Sakshavilitam Lina Tasmai Shri Gurave Chitchaitanya Gishtam Stam Lina Bhutali Swamrupakadamayam Dadanti Swakamantikam Vandeyam Siyu Siyuda Padkamam Siyum Vaishnavamsa Shirupam Jagatatam Sakana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduktam Paitana Saitam Sri Krishna Stanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saganadita Shivishakam Vitam Sa He Krishna Karuna Sindhina Bandhajat Pate Gopesha Kopka Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kamsna Gauragira Devindavana Shri Krishna Nasante Devi Kanamama Ankara Kalaptarashan Kripa Sundesha Patina Pavanabhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Nama Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasa Gaurav Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Namo Vishnu Krishna Vishnu Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namni Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachari Nirvishesha Srimati Paspachani Visakam Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So, as an eternal spiritual soul, we are engaged in a body made of material nature. And as such, we have become under the influence of material nature. This body, we have a gross body and a subtle body. The subtle body, if it's contaminated with material desires, it makes us move from one body to another, one gross body to another. So the cause of the moving from one gross body to another gross body is the subtle body, which is contaminated. And what is this contaminated? Contamination. And how does the soul come in contact with this material nature? Krishna explains it in the 13th chapter. Bhukte Prakati Jan Kunan. We desire to enjoy separately from Krishna. We wanted to be independent from Krishna. If we want to be independent of Krishna, then we come under the influence of the material nature. That's the reason. So, who is the initiator? Why are we under the material energy? It was our decision. We have come with the car. And you cannot drive the car without a key. You have to turn the key or have the key with you. Otherwise, the motor will not start. And we have turned the key. And what is this key? Is that I want to be independent from Krishna. That is our decision. And then Krishna says, what happens? You come under my divine material energy. And who controls this energy? Not us. Mayadaksanya Prakati, Krishna says, I control this material nature. And how does it happen? We got a subtle body. It's the cause of a gross body. That's the first thing you acquire, a subtle body. And this subtle body is pervaded with the consciousness coming from the soul. But that consciousness becomes contaminated with desires separate from Krishna, trying to enjoy. And we become controlled by these desires. Not only by these desires, we become controlled by this body. That the eyes see something, or the hands want to touch something, the tongue wants to taste something, and that comes into the mind, and that feeling comes into the mind. Yes, I want to satisfy my senses, my mind, my senses, and then the mind makes plans for it with using the intelligence, and the soul goes along with all the things. No control by the soul, because one thinks I'm the body. It's a deep illusion, very deep illusion. Therefore, Krishna has instructed in the 3rd chapter of the Bhagavat Gita that to get control over your situation, you must know that the senses are higher than matter, higher than the senses is the mind. They are supposed to control the senses, but usually it's the other way in the material energy. And higher than the mind, higher than the thinking, feeling, willing, is the intelligence. Intelligence should control the mind, but usually it's the other way. The mind misuses the intelligence to satisfy the senses. And Krishna says, if you have that knowledge, but higher than intelligence is the soul. So how to get control, how to act as a spirit soul and not as a body. That's the point. The first thing you must do is filling your intelligence with transcendental knowledge from Bhagavat Gita, from Bhagavatam, how to act as a spirit soul. And then when one hears that, then the soul becomes attached to it and said, okay, execute Krishna's instructions. And then the mind engages the senses in devotional service, following the instructions of the intelligence, which are based on transcendental knowledge. And that's the liberated position. So this is essential knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. But to understand this, one must know what is the goal of life. And what is this process of surrender? What's the essence of that? When Srila Prabhupada was in Tehran, he said in a lecture that he said that the same thing many times. There is no institution like the Hare Krishna movement where all the devotees, all the members, every day of their practice, they act to purify their lives. They act to purify them from this illusion. And every morning, all initiated members of this movement, every morning and every evening, they should come together to discuss the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. There is no other religion where that exists. Every morning and evening, just to understand the purpose of human life. But we should understand what do we essentially need to understand. We need to understand how we can become free from the bodily concept of life. The idea that I'm the body. And what is required for that? Krishna will say a little further here, in this 7th chapter, 7:21. Icha Vesha Samutena Banta Moina Bhanata Sarva Bhutani Saman Sarhe Yanti Parantapa. That's Krishna says to Arjuna, everyone is born into delusion in this world. They are bewildered by two things, raga and vesha, desire and hate. And that keeps us in the body concept of life. This is good for the body, and this is bad for the body. This gives pleasure to the body, that I like. And it gives me this stress, pain, I don't want that. So that's all based on the body, not on the soul. The soul never suffers. That the soul is always blissful. But it's the mind who becomes absorbed in that reality. And the soul identifies with the mind. And that's a big problem. That only unless you have a spiritual practice, you will identify with the mind. If you have a strong spiritual practice, you will start identifying with the soul. So every soul who comes into this world is covered by this illusion. So, and we are in illusion due to material desires. Material desires is to give pleasure to the body and the mind, which is temporary. Soon we have to get out of this body. It's very temporary. People think, I'm going to become happy in this world. But whether you have a life full of happiness or a life full of distress, at the end you get the same, you die. That's the biggest distress. It's all for nothing. Krishna says, one who lives for the senses, for the body, lives for nothing. And most people are busy with living for nothing. It's their business. They are busy with satisfying material desires. But when you have satisfied one desire, another desire comes. And then another desire comes. And it goes on, one after another. And for that reason, you have to take one body after another. Yeah, it's said in Bhagavat Gita, Ye samsparsaya bhoga dukkha yona ivate. It's a ye samsparsya, by contact with the senses, for sense enjoyment. What is the reaction of material nature? You want to enjoy something, and you enjoy with your senses. What's the reaction? The karmic reaction? You will suffer. You have to pay that with suffering. You want to enjoy? You have to pay with suffering. It's not gratis. Material nature will not allow you. So we want a life free from suffering, and we deserve it because we are a spirit soul. There is no suffering for the soul. The soul is exactly like Krishna in quality. It's exactly like Krishna, Sat Chit Ananda. So Krishna is always enjoying, always. And we, as Krishna, we should always enjoying. Always enjoying ever-increasing bliss. So, ever-increasing ecstatic symptoms of love. That we are supposed to enjoy. But foolishly, we have become entangled with the physical nature, the physical world. And that is the problem with everyone in this world. People are thinking we are Chinese. No, that's like the Chinese have now sent a space station into space, and this is, with Chinese people there. So they are thinking, yes, this is great, China is great. That before they have been dogs, but now they are becoming more important dogs, because the dog identify with the body, and the Chinese, those who think I'm Chinese, I'm American, I'm Ukrainian, I'm Bulgarian, they are also identifying with the body, like the dogs. In Australia, in America, all the same, because people identify with the body, which they are not. So there are, but Krishna says, surrender unto me. There are 6 symptoms of surrender, and I want to speak about them. 6 things we have to do to surrender to Krishna. The first is accept everything that is favorable to the execution of devotional service. Everything that is favorable for spiritual activities. We are a spirit soul, but that's not sufficient to know. We have to know what's a spirit soul. Krishna says that the jiva, the soul, is a part and parcel of me. We are a part of Krishna. Therefore we have the same qualities. That's normal. And the part should serve the whole. We should serve Krishna. We are servants of Krishna. That's the symptom of all living entities. They are servants. And we cannot do anything than serving Krishna. Either we serve Krishna directly, or we serve Krishna to the material energy. But serving we are all doing. Yeah. We serve our boss. We work for him, not out of love, but for money. But we serve. The husband serves the wife. True? Sometimes happens. And people walk their dogs, they serve their dogs. That's service. Everyone is serving. That's the dharma of the living entity. Dharma means that what you cannot change. So accepting everything for that service for Krishna is the first thing. And that's called yukta vairagya. Doing everything in the knowledge that everything belongs to Krishna and is meant therefore for his service. Not thinking this is mine. No, Krishna says, Mama Maya, it's my energy, it's not ours. Mama Maya, that's difficult to overcome, but it's mine. It doesn't belong to us. It's not for our enjoyment. For Krishna's enjoyment. So that's the first thing. Understand what's favorable for devotional service. And the second thing is, everything what cannot be used in Krishna's service, we should reject. Just like, if our former boyfriend or former girlfriend, if they are actually demons means against Krishna's service and against Krishna. If we want to make progress, we have to reject them, even if they are our parents. At least we have to become indifferent to them. But intelligently, we are not interested in anything they have to give us, unless they are devotees. That's the second thing, reject what is unfavorable. And the third thing, one must accept Krishna as one's protector. The devotee feels always, Krishna will protect me. Me means the soul. Will protect my consciousness, my soul. Therefore, the devotee is always fearless if he becomes a little advanced. On my own, I cannot protect myself from anything. I cannot protect myself from a hurricane. I cannot protect myself from old age, disease, death. So we should take shelter of Krishna. This is mentioned in a verse of the Bhagavatam, which always remember, and this is Lord Brahma speaking to Lord Krishna, says, Samasritaye padapalavaplavam mahat patam punya yasomravi bhavam bhutir patsapadam pram padam 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 yat pipadam natishan. It says, one who has taken shelter of the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord. So the feet of Krishna are compared to a boat. And what can we do with this boat? The boat belongs to Krishna, who is called Murari in this verse. It's the shelter of the cosmic manifestation. It's the enemy of the Mura demon. So if one takes shelter of the boat of Krishna's lotus feet, then the ocean of the material world is like the water contained in a calf's hoofprint. So the whole material world shrinks into a little puddle like a calf's footprint. And their goal is param padam. Their goal is spiritual world. Krishna speaks about that, 8:21 in Bhagavat. It's my spiritual world. If you go there, you don't come back, Krishna says. We are an eternal soul. And we are at home in an eternal atmosphere. An eternal atmosphere. Not in a temporary atmosphere. We are here like a fish out of water. And the fish cannot be happy on the land. So we cannot be happy in this material world. Our goal is parampadam. It's beyond this material world. Vaikuntha. And not a place where there is danger at every step. In this world, we are in danger at every step. Therefore we must surrender to Krishna. We said in the beginning, we are here because we turned the key. But we can turn the key the other way every moment. Every moment you can do that. There is in the Bhagavatam the story of King Katvanga. King Katvanga was a great Kshatriya, a great fighter. And he was requested by the demigods to fight against demons. And there was a big fight. we took a long time, but after the war was over, the demigods came to King Katpanga. We are very pleased with your service. We want to give you something that's because demigods, they are in charge of all all the sub-material energies in this world. King Indra, he controls the clouds, is in charge of the water department. So all these demigods have their departments and their sphere of influence, very powerful. They control all the material energy, so they can give you in this universe whatever you want. And they came to King Katpanga and said, we want to give you something. Ask what you want. But King Katpanga was a little intelligent and he asked, how long do I have still to live? And then the demigods came together and had a meeting and found out. And they came back to King Katpanga and said, you have only 1 minute left of your life. And King Katpanga at once fixed his mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. He left his body and went straight to Vaikuntha. So he did it in a second, turning the key. But for us, it may be a little more difficult. We are not so advanced. But finally, our returning back to the spiritual world starts with taking the decision, I become a devotee of Krishna. I'm going to surrender to Krishna. And that's the turning of the key. So first you have to accept what's favorable for devotional service, that you have to learn from the devotees and from the scriptures. And what to reject also, as the nectar of instructions, main instructions, what to reject, atyahara payasasya, prajalpanya, niyamargama, atyahara, not trying to collect things you don't need in your life, atyahara, prayas, not on over-endeavoring for material things. You have to leave them behind. That's no need to get 10 houses and so on. No, just what you need. Atyara Payasasya Prajalpa. Don't speak about worldly enjoyment with others and sense enjoyments. There are so many instructions. But then one has to feel Krishna is one's protector. Have faith Krishna is always with me, will protect me. Because at every step there is danger in the material world. So the devotee takes shelter of Krishna, Murari. Therefore he is Abhay Charan. Abhay Charan means, this was Prabhupada's name, Abhay Charan, taking shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. Always seeing Krishna as one's protector. And Prabhupada, he was Abhay Charan. He was fearless. He was fearless in his preaching. So this is a letter from Makandal to Srila Prabhupada. Makandal, a few years ago, he took sannyas, but unfortunately a few years ago he left this world. But he wrote to Prabhupada, what about a nuclear world, a nuclear war? And what about the Sankirtan movement? Srila Prabhupada said, no, the Sankirtan movement is the order of the Supreme Lord. So the demons have no power to interfere. It's quite a statement. Therefore, there is fear that the demons have nuclear weapons and they can blow up this planet. Today very actual. And And there are movies even that suggest that it will happen. But yes, Srila Prabhupada said they do not have that power. If God does not sanction them, they can't even open their mouths. Because that's Krishna consciousness. I'm speaking now, but it's the super soul who's speaking. It controls the energy. I'm only desire something to speak. And Krishna cooperates from within in the heart. And therefore, my lips move, the words are formed and comes out. But if Krishna does not want me to speak, I cannot open my mouth. That's also for the demons. They can't even open their eyes, Srila Prabhupada. So that's the third symptom of surrender. That Krishna is our protector, and he will bless me with his mercy. So a devotee always expects the mercy of Krishna. But the fourth symptom of surrender, Krishna is my maintainer. So Krishna even maintains millions and millions of little ants. Also the elephants. So many elephants also in Africa, in the jungle, and they are getting their food. So that's all done by the arrangement of God. So he will also make arrangement for his devotees, because in the Vedas he said, Nityo Nityananam Shetana Shetananam. Nityo Nityananam is the big eternal among many eternals. We are also eternals. That all conscious beings, but he fulfills the desire of many. Vididati Karma. He fulfilled the desires of many. So, Krishna is the one who pays the bill for everyone else. So a devotee feels Krishna is my protector, he's my maintainer. And a devotee feels always dependent on Krishna. That whatever we want to do, we pray to Krishna, to the spiritual master, and Krishna, to empower us. We know where the power is coming from. That's the point with Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu said, you impudent son, you think you are better in controlling the senses than me? Where do your power come from? Where do you get that power to thwart my instructions and my commands? And Prahlad Maharaj said, my power and your power are coming from the same source. It's all coming from Krishna. And the devotee knows that. So he's always feeling himself humble and meek. So that humility is the next symptom. Feeling humble and meek is there's like the story of but the devotee is humble and meek, but and that condition attracts Krishna's mercy. And Krishna's mercy to such a devotee may come to a pure devotee, to a spiritual master, to a pure devotee. So one of these pure devotees, spiritual masters in our line, was Narada Muni. And Narada Muni, he convinced the sons of Daksha. Daksha was one of the Prajapatis who was in charge of creating many living entities to populate the world, the universe, in the beginning of the creation. And he created 10,000 sons. These 10,000 sons were the Hasya, Lasya, Pas, I think. And he sent them to near to a river, to a beach, to perform austerities under the guidance of many sages, to learn to control their senses before entering the Grihastha ashram. So that's a Vedic principle, brahmachari. And they were all practicing austerities at a big river. And then Narada Muni came. And Narada Muni, he was thinking they are nearly liberated. I will give them a push. So that they give up material life and dedicate themselves to the service of Krishna. And he told them a story. He said, in a certain land, a country, there is a king, and he is the king of the country, and he's married with a queen, and the queen constantly changes dresses to attract the king. And then he said there is a river, and the river flows in two directions, and at the end of the river there is a razor blade, and that destroys everything. When I heard this story the first time, I didn't understand anything. Prabhupada explained it in the purport. He said, there is one king in this country. There is one foolish soul in this body. And he's married, the king is married to a queen. We are married to our mind. We think we are the mind. And the mind makes proposals for sense enjoyment, changes dresses one after another. But what's the result? It's happiness and distress in a river going up and down. You experience all your life this happiness and distress, and then at the end of life you go to the razor blade, everything for nothing. And this Asyalas first heard it, 10,000, and they decide to take sannyas. And Daksha became very irritated. But they said, okay, it's the saintly person. But then he created 1,000 sons. He became more careful, not 10,000, 1,000. The Satyalasvas. And he sent them to the same place at the river to do austerities. You may say, why is he doing the same thing now that can't come again? But it was a Vedic tradition. One has to learn to control one's senses before entering the Grihastha ashram. And who came by again? Narada Muni came by. And what did he say? Did he tell the same story? No. He told only two sentences, he told. 2 sentences. Well, he said, an older brother, a younger brother should follow in the footsteps of an older brother. He said only 1 sentence. That's what he said. And these 1,000 socialasvas understood. Yes, they all took sannyas. And then Daksha became really angry. And he cursed Narada Muni. He said to Narada Muni, what you are doing is against the Vedic tradition. You are in Maya. If you have not learned to enjoy in your life, you cannot renounce it. You must first experience it. In the purport, Srila Bhagavat writes, that's not true. We can learn just by hearing. That's first class. You don't have to experience. And he cursed Narada Muni so that he could not stay in one place for 3 days. And this curse is transferred to the sannyasis. And I experienced also, I cannot stay longer than a few days in one place and I have to go. But at the end, Srila Prabhupada said to his disciples, I'm transferring this curse now to all my sannyasis. And so that I can stay in one place and translate my books. Stay in Vrindavan. So that's the process of surrender to become free from the bondage of this material world. That's first accepting what's favorable for spiritual life, rejecting what's unfavorable, accepting Krishna as your protector, then accepting Krishna as your maintainer, and then one becomes humble, humility. That's the key to spiritual life. And that humility attracts Krishna's mercy. And by that mercy, Krishna will save you. You just have to wait for his rescue. Thank you very much. That's the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Much more to learn, but that's the beginning. Any questions? Yes.
The nature of the soul is superior nature, spiritual nature.
Yes, the eternal soul is spiritual nature.
And how is it that a superior nature can be controlled by an inferior nature, like the subtle bodies?
Yeah, how it is possible that the soul can be overcome by this inferior nature? That's explained in the verse today. From the moment you want to be independent of Krishna, enjoy independently from him, Bhakti Pratijankanam, you turn the key. And you come in contact with material nature. And Krishna says, Mama Maya Durachaya, Deva Yisam Gunamayi. This material nature is under my control. And Mama Maya Durachaya, very difficult to overcome. You cannot overcome it unless you surrender unto me. And that's the consequence of our decision to enjoy separate from Krishna. And the solution is surrender. And that's what I explained today. Okay? Good. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavat Gita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. And we have Kirtan, right? For how long?
We have till 3:30 time.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Namaste Narsimhaya. Yato Jam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parikasaya Sutara Shatsi Srimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Shri Guru Parampara Ki Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Shri Bhatanath Shri Pakapalabhata Dasa Raghunath Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki Ramacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Pevsko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Shri Advaita Vedanta Shri Bhalasanta Gaurav Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyam Kundaranta Kunakari Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavanam Ki Shri Advaita Podam Ki Gangamayam Yamunamaya Ki Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Shri Gauranitai Ki Shri Gaura Premanandi.
Hari Hari
All
Bol.
glories to the awesome Lord.
Hari
All glories to the awesome Lord.
Hari
All glories to the awesome Lord. All glories to
Hari
Guru and Shigwani. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
So, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. So, devotees, next week Saturday, most of you will know that next week Saturday is Rath Yatra in Antwerp. So, we still have flyers here as well. So, if you need an address or you want a flyer, just come and take one. It starts at 1 o'clock at the center of Antwerp, and also Bhakti Prabhava Maharaj will also be there, yes? Yes, so Maharaj will also be there. Krishna willing, Maharaj will be there. So that's very nice. Because